so we're talking about constant of proportionality. And constant of proportionality is actually a pretty easy concept. Constant of proportionality is a constant ratio of two variables related proportionally. Okay? So we have a lot of different things going on up here. We've got three variables. And I know none of us like having three variables. We're okay with one, but once you get into three, it's a lot. So it says that the equation is y equals kx. I'm actually going to get a better marker. This one appears to be getting a little bit old. Get a better marker. So y equals kx. Now let's talk about what these terms mean really quickly. Where have we seen x and y before? Where do you see x and y?
Just a second ago on the
Just a second ago on the warm-up? Okay, good. And what else do you do? You're not wrong. Where else can we see x and y? Josh?
The grid thing?
Yeah, on a coordinate plane or a graph. Do we agree that if we have a graph here, this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This y and this y are the same, and this x and this x are the same. So the x and the y are referring to x and y's from an actual graph. I want you to write this down on your piece of paper. K equals constant. K equals constant. Now, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. We decided to spell the word constant that starts with a C, but abbreviate with a K. I have no idea why they would do that, but they did. So K equals constant. Okay? And what we're going to do with that is we are now going to figure out what this is saying. So what this is saying is y is equal to your x value times whatever constant number I'm giving you. What does the word constant mean? Anthony?
It's happening a lot.
Happening a lot. Okay. Caden, what does constant mean to you?
It's repeating.
Over and over and over. Do we agree right now that the earth is constantly spinning?
Yeah.
Right? We know that we can't really feel it because we're used to it, but that right now the earth is spinning and spinning and spinning. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
Do we agree that the ocean is constantly moving? There are tides and the waves are coming in and out. You guys have been to the beach?
Yeah.
Or you at least seen the beach? And the waves go in and out? Constant. You guys know what cruise control is? How many of you guys have been on a road trip? And have your parents, your grandparents, whoever you're riding with, have they ever put on the cruise control?
No.
So here's what cruise control is. When you're driving, you can lock in your speed at a certain speed, and it will stay that speed until you stop it. Meaning that instead of me having to keep my foot on the gas, or the accelerator, it just keeps me going at 65 miles per hour the entire way. That's constant. The speed is not changing. We can actually figure out how fast we're going, how much time it will take. Now, how do we find K, the constant, or rate of change? We're going to call it both. It means the same thing. We're going to do constant is equal to y divided by x. Where did we start doing division the other day? What were we talking about when we were doing division? What was it?
Unit rate.
Yeah, unit rate. It's the same thing. So what we're looking for is the unit rate or the constant, that multiplier that we can continue to multiply to figure out the prices. Remember I told you that a Reese's costs 50 cents? Remember this conversation? That's my constant. Because if one Reese's costs 50 cents, don't I have to multiply by 50 cents again to get the next one? And by 50 cents to get the next one? So the constant, the only thing repeating itself is that 50 cents. So here we go. Leslie earns $6 per hour babysitting. Her earnings are listed below in the table. Okay, so let's take a look at this. She works 0 hours. She obviously gets $0. If you don't work, you don't get paid. She works 1 hour. She gets $6. She works 2 hours. She gets $12. She works 3 hours. She gets $18. Can anybody tell me what the constant is, what the unit rate is? What do you think, Reed?
6.
I agree. 6. Now, let's talk about that though. If I were to take this formula right here, K equals y divided by x, I'm going to do K equals 6 divided by 1. What is 6 divided by 1? 6. Let's do it again. Let's do 12 divided by 2. Do we get that it's going to repeat over and over and over? It's always $6? Now let's talk about proportional. Does anybody know what the word proportional means? What does that mean, Anthony?
Split into like little groups.
it's a unique way to describe it, but I don't think you're wrong. Anybody else? Kate, what do you think?
Like separate value.
Okay, yeah, separate values, but we're trying to find the consistency there, right? Let me ask you this. If I tell you that you get 2 points for every basket that you make, is that proportional?
Yeah.
Do you agree that it's repeating 2, 2, 2, 2, 2? So no matter how many baskets I shoot, it's always going to be multiplied by 2? Do we agree that this is proportional? Why do you say no, Anthony?
I didn't say
Oh, I thought you were shaking your head no. Do we agree it's 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6? No matter how many hours she worked. If Reed were to say, hey, she's going to work 1,000,000 hours, that would be 1,000,000 times 6, right? She'd make $6 million. Does that make sense, though? Proportional. All right, let me go to the next part. All right. This next part, so it's still the same question we're just on. It says, which value represents the unit rate? What do you think the unit rate is to that problem? It's not a trick question. Hey, what's up, Isaac? Thanks, sir. It's 6, right? The unit rate and the constant are the exact same thing. The unit rate and the constant are the exact same thing. All right, let's look at this next one. All right, it says Jack's Jumpers rent bounce houses by the hour. Jack charges $20 per hour and a setup fee of $40. Complete the table based on this information. Okay, so here's what I want to do. We're going to skip this entire first line starting out. We're going to skip it, okay? Let me ask you this. Does anybody remember what the formula that we just talked about was? Read.
hours over money, or K equals.
K equals y divided by x. K equals y divided by x. What does K stand for again? Constant, good. Y represents y from a graph, x represents x from a graph. What is 60 divided by 1? 60. So that means that my constant is going to be $60. Are we okay with that?
No,
Why?
because the constant is $20, correct?
Oh yeah, explain that. Why is that?
Because the 40 is always there,
Good,
and the hours is 20.
good, good, good. So if I erase that, let's talk about it. It says that Jack charges $20 per hour. It's already telling us what the constant is, right? But the reason that this one doesn't work out is because there's an additional setup fee of $40. So the constant is 20, but the additional setup fee means that you have to add that $40 every single time. Jack, will you pull your mask up, please? Does that make sense?
Does that mean there's two constants?
It does not mean there's two constants. This is a little bit more algebra based. This means that you have a y-intercept. You have a starting point, which means it's non-proportional. And by having that non-starting point, it just means that that's not going to be effective in that response. Okay? All right, so let me do this. Go ahead and go to the next page of your homework, please. Skip over our notes. Let's go to this next part.
Is there one below?
Oh, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. My apologies. Don't go down. Click on the next, right below that.
Oh, okay.
So we just talked about the values. Now we're going to look at it from a graph standpoint. Now, these are different. I know they look the same. We're going to try to find the constant of proportionality. Yeah, Evan, I mean, that's part of how this class is going to go. We're going to be learning a new constant every day. Proportionality and unit rate, though, they're going to end up being the same thing, meaning that they're all constant, which is what we're talking about. But unfortunately, this class just moves at that quick of a speed. If you'd like to set up a tutorial time, I'll be more than happy to talk to you, or when I finish this lesson, we can talk about it. Okay, so here we've got a graph here, right? The biggest thing, I want you to add this to your notes. Proportionality starts at 0. So do you see how right here, we're at 0, 0? That's how I know it's proportional. This 0, 0 here is how I know it's going to be proportional. Okay? So now my question is, if I do my y minus x, can we agree this is my y value and this is my x value? Can everybody agree with that? And the formula is k equals y divided by x. Now if I look at this first part, my y is what? 12. And my x is 3.
No, it's not. It's not.
9, my apologies. Thank you guys for correcting me there. Appreciate that. So that means that my constant is 3, which means that we're increasing by 3 every single time. So again, if I go to 6, 4 would be at, there you go, let me try it out this. Here's 1. Here's 2. 3. That graphed off a little bit. What this is implying, though, is that we're increasing by 3 for every single number. What I want you to take away from this is, can you figure out what the constant is? By using that formula, k equals y divided by x.
So divide the first number by the also?
Any point. So like, we got k equals 3, so let's choose this point up here, right? This is 12 for my x and 36. So k equals 36 divided by 12. Well, what is 36 divided by 12?
3.
What's up, Isaac?
I do not know what we're doing.
Yeah, but think about it. You just walked into class halfway through. So like, it logically would make sense that you don't understand what we're doing, right? I'll be more than happy to catch you up, but I need to continue working with these guys before I jump into what you missed from whatever reason you were out. It's not a bad reason. No, you don't have to apologize. I'm just saying, though. It's like jumping into a book halfway through, right? It wouldn't make sense. Okay, this next one. Here's my point. I'm at 30, and I'm not at a whole number right there. We'll call it 6. So what's my formula? K equals what?
30
Y over x, right?
over x, which is
Or K equals,
30 over 6.
well, not 30 over 6, because,
6 over 30.
yeah, good. 6 over 30. And what can we simplify 6 over 32? Not 5.
Oh, 3/15. Or 3 over 15.
3 over.
Are you going to go 3 over 15?
Yeah, 3 over 15.
What else can it be simplified to, though?
1 over
1 over 5.
1 over. Oh.
So that means every time it goes up 1, it goes over 5. So if we go up 1, 1 over 5, up 1 over 5, up 1 over 5.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
I'm going to pause this video and start a new one real quick.